Hey, before the video starts, I just wanted to say this because as I was editing this video, I realized how like often I stutter and I say like and that really annoyed me while I was editing it. So if I'm just like brain dead most of this like video, which I tried my best to edit like through that them parts, please just ignore that because yeah, I like as of recording this, I'm not really that awake. And by the way, yes, this room is a mess, and I'm only wearing this hat because my hair is a mess. I'm not like one of them people that have my fringe out and go like, oh look at me ladies, I'm hot. But yeah, enjoy the video. Movies about games have always been somewhat awful. However, during the recent years, that hasn't been the case. The Mario movie gave many, including me, high hopes for it being good with its trailers, but was it really? I watched the Mario movie and this is my honest review. Before this video really starts, my throat is absolutely terrible. So if you can clearly tell, that's obviously why. This is like such awful timing as well, considering that this started to happen like a day or two right before I was going to see the Mario movie. And of course the first thought of what it was, you know, COVID. So luckily it wasn't, and I got to see the movie and try not to try not to make this annoy you.
Let's go!
The animation was absolutely amazing, and I know it feels weird. It's talking like it looks typical of someone who has a Mario profile picture for their YouTube channel. Talk about how amazing everything was, but the Mario movie did have a couple of flaws, and even I would talk about it later on in the review. But the animation was far from one of them. It was just incredible. Illuminations, like you would never have guessed it was Illuminations that was making this movie. Like there are so many details in the background and the characters that you would never see in any other Illuminations movie. Compare like Minions or The Secret Life of Pets to this movie and its animation, and it really does feel like Nintendo just had gone towards Illuminations to make this movie amazing and look amazing. And it wasn't just the trailers. I've seen a couple of people talk about how they made the animation beautiful only for the trailers, just for it to like downgrade during the actual movie. That is far from the case. The animation is like eye candy. It really is just amazing and beautiful. I'm saying amazing a lot, but there isn't really other way to put it. So you're just simply looking at the trailer and seeing how good the animation really is, and you can have a good picture in your head knowing what the whole movie is like.
Let's go!
The music was exactly what I would think it would be if you like told me about a Mario movie when I was younger. And it's like in the trailers as well. It's remixes of the games, the game music, the soundtracks, and like this was my favorite part in the movie. Just every time when I heard like a tune of as the soundtrack of a Mario movie, no, the Mario movie, what? I mean, when I heard the music of a specific Mario game in the movie, it just brought me back to playing my Nintendo Wii or my DS or just whatever console that game was on. It was just so cool, and it really set the mood. It really just takes me back to when I put the headset on and start blasting Mario soundtracks when I was younger. And I'm not gonna lie, I still do it to this day. It's just so good.
Let's go!
When it comes to talking about the characters, I'm only going to be talking about the characters who appeared in trailers, like Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Peach, Bowser. Did I say Toad? I don't know. My brain is small. But only talking about them and how they really acted in the movie. I'm not going to be talking about their voice actors. I will be later on in the video. But all in all, like the characters' personalities, because it was going to be hard to give these characters personalities, since most Mario games there isn't that much of a story. Like the games just go straight into the gameplay, and the games just give you an end goal, and then you obviously get to the end and win. So given characters, given personalities to these characters who has been in many people's childhoods would be hard, especially for the story writers and Illuminations. And obviously the character designs were mainly like made this way to make them as expressible as possible, which they really did a good job. So I will like say that Mario and Luigi, like, I don't know what it is about Mario, but every time when I see the Mario movie design now, I totally see another like character. It really feels like they brought like a whole new personality. Well, not like Mario really had one. That's not a roast. Um, it really felt like they brought their own like personality to the table. It really felt like they had an idea of what they wanted Mario to act like, and they really brought it into this movie very well. And the Luigi, like they get him on point. It was really cool how this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. It's really just cool how they brought Luigi to, you know, the dark realm. Obviously, Luigi's being a scaredy cat, Luigi's Mansion, all that type of stuff. You know, he's scared, and they really bring that to the movie, and they really show how like creeped out he really is, how scared he is, and how brave he is at times. And that was really enjoyable to watch on the screen. And I will say that Peach was a complete U-turn, because for all of these games, we've been seeing Peach being helpless and us like get kidnapped and scream for Mario's help. And they obviously, through the trailers, they obviously didn't do that for this movie. But instead they took the idea to make Luigi the one getting kidnapped. And lots of people had issues with that. I don't know why. I think like I don't know like what this means and stuff, but like about wokeness, about people saying typical that they make Peach a girl boss and how they make Luigi weak. Luigi has never been weak in the games, but or has never been kidnapped in the games, which that is an obvious lie. There's many games that have Luigi being kidnapped or captured and needing help from Mario or even another character. When I say other character, I mean Super Peach. But Peach really felt like a whole different character. And I wouldn't say that that's negative, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that it's incredibly like positive. I just really don't know. I just didn't like. It's really hard. It's like I'm speechless like right now. I'm trying. I didn't write a script because I really felt I could just talk about everything just in my own words. But talking about Peach, it's just, I mean, she was enjoyable to watch, but knowing that she was Peach, Princess Peach from the Mario series, and like the things that she's doing in the movie, it's just like, whoa, like this is definitely something we haven't seen her do in the games. Toad is just a ball of energy, and that was like brought into the movie very well. I kind of see the gaming resemblance between Toad in the games and the movie. I really like the way they did his character, and most people always made like the joke of Toad being nothing but a screechy, annoying voice, and they really made Toad, instead of that, be a hype man, you know, just a hype man for Mario and Peach, someone who sticks with them. But I feel like Toad was only kind of there to say like a one line, to say a joke, like to make a joke during like scenes, and the rest of him was just kind of in the back. That's how I personally felt, because I felt like Mario had his moments, Peach had her moments, and when it came to Toad, I couldn't really think of any, really. I guess that's just my opinion, but obviously you guys will have your own opinion if you haven't watched the movie and go and see it, or if you already have watched the movie. And now it's time to talk about the two heavyweights, Donkey Kong and Bowser. So Bowser was the best character in the movie, and yes, that was like a big, like that was just like a big thing to say. But Bowser really, I wouldn't say character movie, because the movie like is really good the way it is. But Bowser really did. Like Jack Black brought so much to the table for Bowser, and Jack Black, like the way Jack Black plays Bowser, like it really sits Bowser, it really sits Bowser as a character, and it was always so fun to watch. And like all of the humor, all of the jokes that he done fit perfectly for Bowser. It was so like, it was like, I don't know, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a baby trying to fit a square into the star shape in its toy, and then Jack Black just put it in the square space. That was an awful way to put it. I am so sorry for that. But yes, Jack Black really brought a lot for the Bowser character, and I don't think any other actor would be able to pull off a fun and enjoyable of a Bowser than Jack Black did. And I'm very happy I'm just very happy how Bowser turned out, and his personality, and just how enjoyable he was to watch. And I know I said I was going to talk voice actors later on, and I'm talking about Jack Black right now. But it's just every time when I see Bowser, I heard Bowser, I watched him, the only thing that came in my mind was just Jack Black doing a good job. Jack Black be doing a great and amazing job with the character, and that's all I can really say. Donkey Kong, Seth Rogen. Oh my god, I really hope I said that right. Sorry, I'm really not good with celebrity names. He, like, oh yeah, I'm not talking about voice actors, I'm stupid. I was just talking about Jack Black a lot. But Donkey Kong was kind of like a mix of Toad and a mix with a big ego. And I think that was really funny to watch as well. I always like the kind of characters who have a big ego, and when they get just completely like clowned on, they go pure ape mode, which is obviously perfect for Donkey Kong. And like all in all, like seeing where Donkey Kong, like just seeing how Donkey Kong acted and was in the movie. Oh, sorry for that. Seeing how Donkey Kong was in the movie was always enjoyable. And I'll say this, his entrance in the movie, where he like when he like his first appearance in the movie is amazing and was my favorite part of the whole movie. So yeah, that's something big to say. All in all the characters were really good. I'd say I'd say Bowser's amazing. Mario and Luigi are great. Toad is a fun surprise, and Peach was a surprise. And I think, yeah, did I say Donkey? I am so sorry. I just woke up not so long ago, and I keep on forgetting so like most of the things I'm saying right now.
Let's go!
This may be like a random different topic that not many reviewers are talking about, but yeah, I wanted to talk about the loyalty to the games, since obviously, like, Mario is known for games, obviously. He's like, his face is almost like the icon of gaming. So most people going into this movie really wanted to see how loyal it was to the games, especially big fans like myself. And there's a ton of references that I just absolutely ate up, that everybody, like the fans, absolutely ate up. And however, like I felt like just because there's a lot of references doesn't mean like what how do I put this in the nicest way possible, or like the way possible. Just because there's like a lot of references in the movie didn't mean it made sense. And that was a nitpick for me. Like that it didn't ruin the movie. It didn't crush my soul when I seen this. But I felt like there were some references that were really cool, and I was like, oh, that's so sick. And then I just thought, but wait, doesn't that like change the way the games work, or doesn't that just change how everybody has been looking at this character, or has been looking at this the whole time, like for these amount of years? And I think it's just safe to say whether this is uncanon until we see it in the actual games. And I'm not going to say an example because I do not want to spoil any of the references, because the references was always such a big surprise, and always like stretched a massive smile across my face. What also one of my favorite parts, the music and the references to the games. But all in all, loyalty to the games, it really did see, I really did see that Nintendo wanted to really throw out a lot of stuff for the fans. And like they did this while also bringing in the people who like weren't as big of Mario fans. They didn't just throw them out in the dust, you know, they didn't just like throw them under the bus and said this is only for Mario fans. They also like the movie was also really enjoyable for people who may have not been as big of Mario fans as other people in the cinema, or people who just wanted to watch a movie.
Let's go!
Now it's time to talk about the thing that everybody had issues or just straight up like was concerned about the movie about. The voice acting. Oh goodness gracious, here comes Chris Pratt with his Mario hat. Here he comes marching into the movie, about to completely ruin it. He's about to bring this movie down. It's gonna be shambles. He's gonna say, he's right behind me, isn't he? He's gonna say, if you're here, who's flying the plane? He's gonna like run off a cliff. He's gonna look down and look up and then fall down. He's gonna be a complete like mess of a voice actor. And Chris Pratt was actually really good. And I'm not saying this because, once again, massive Mario fan, I must praise the movie to be a Mario fan. Chris Pratt did a really good job. And I am embarrassed to say that halfway through the movie, I generally completely forgot that it was Chris Pratt actually voicing him. I really thought it was really enjoyable to hear a different kind of voice for Mario, and a voice that also fits him well for a movie, instead of hearing like Mario's really thick Italian like accent constantly and like throughout the whole movie, and his tone going up down, you know what I mean. And they obviously knew while casting Chris Pratt that nobody who was going to watch the movie wanted to see that or hear that, because many of the fans obviously know that we always hear Mario say yippee wahoo, all that, and it's all fun and games until like you had to hear a whole hour and a half or however long the Mario movie was. Sorry, I honestly don't know. It felt like 2 seconds to me. That's how much I was enjoying it. But yeah, fans and even like casual watchers didn't want to hear the yippee wahoo Charlie Marinette. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. They didn't want to hear that voice throughout the whole movie, and but like obviously not dissing the voice, because we all love Mario's voice. Everybody loves Mario full stop. But yeah, Chris Pratt did an amazing job. Oh my god, sorry, I'm so sorry for pronouncing names wrong. But Anya Taylor-Joy, I'm so sorry. It's not like she's watching this anyway. Really took a different approach to the Peach role. Instead of like having a very soft tone, she actually just really just brought a different voice to Peach. And as you could see that in the trailer and obviously the movie, I really didn't mind Peach's voice at all. Mario and Peach's voice was one of the main complaints that lots of people had, and I didn't know why. This is a flex on my half. I never complained about Chris Pratt's voice for Mario, and I never even knew Peach's voice was a complaint until I seen some of the reviews, the critics' reviews, and I'm going to talk about the critics' review in another video because it's actually ridiculous and funny. Obviously not getting tilted, salty, toxic about the critics' reviews, but most of them are just outright dumb. But yeah, she really brought a whole different voice than I expected for Princess Peach, and it was like I welcomed it with open arms, and that really did pay off because it really does fit Peach as a character. Charlie Day as Luigi is Charlie Day. I don't mean that. I don't mean that he didn't do a voice. I'm not like that. Not like that. That was a compliment. Charlie Day, aside from Jack Black, was one of the most hyped people to be voicing for this movie. Everybody knew he was going to do a great job, and he did. So fitting for Luigi, and he really did bring the personality from the games and the kind of personality he had throughout the games. But Luigi, like, definitely has more of a personality than characters like Mario. And I say that because you see Luigi express more personality. In Luigi's Mansion, obviously he's scared. Obviously he's like pure gassed when something good happens. But Mario games are obviously like different. Mario doesn't like jump up in joy and like Biggie's down when he jumps on a Goomba in his games. So there was more to work with when it came to Luigi's personality and voice, and Charlie Day definitely smashed it. And yeah, moving on to Jack Black. I don't even think I need to say anything about his voice. He was the best. He was the best voice actor, the best pick for Bowser. He brought the character. He just brought everything to the character, and it's very easy to see that and to hear that during the trailers and movies. And if like you look at the trailers and you think, oh, he's only doing this off of this part because it's part of the trailer, and then you see the movie and you're like, okay, yeah, Jack Black, it's putting his all in this movie, like throughout the whole thing. You thought like, oh, this is a role for a silly Nintendo movie. It's not going to be that serious. But like Kung Fu Panda, that's a movie he needs to like save his vocal cords for. That's the movie he needs to like put his 100% into. But absolutely, like, he really put everything he could into the Bowser voice, and you obviously like shows and it pays off. Keegan Michael Key, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, damn, I'm sorry, but yeah, I wouldn't say it was a surprise of a pick for the voice. Obviously, they weren't going to get a celebrity into the recording booth and say, okay, what I want you to do is completely destroy your throat because you're playing Toad. If they stuck with the normal Toad voice or the Toad voice that fans give Toad, I would guarantee that the voice actor would be sent in a hospital and lose their voice and need several medications for their throat. But so obviously needed a new side to Toad. They give it more of a high, friendly. I wouldn't say childish. Kind of like a kid's voice, and you would think, oh, kids, I hate kids. I'm not watching this movie. Nah, but he really does bring his own side to Toad, and Toad is really enjoyable watching. The few times you see Toad in the movie, he's enjoyable to watch. And then lastly, Seth Rogen for Donkey Kong. Unpopular opinion, really good casting. I seen one of the reviews. Seth Rogen said that he doesn't do voice acting, like he doesn't voice act. And then someone made a whole TikTok saying that it's typical Hollywood casting that they would get celebrities to voice all the Nintendo characters because they're popular. That they would like bring in more of the views. And I agree and kind of disagree, because the Mario movie was always destined to have this amount of people watching it, this amount of like hype. But at the same time, yeah, I can see why people say stuff like that, considering that like everybody who is voicing these characters are noticeable in their own way, and like actors and big Hollywood like famous celebrities in their own way. But Seth Rogen was definitely a joy to watch, and like I really did like find Donkey Kong the most funniest character in the movie. And I honestly didn't expect to laugh in the cinema or like laugh while watching the movie. I thought the only time I would be laughing in the movie is if I heard a reference or heard like a wee tune, and then I go like all fanboy and start clapping my hands. But no, Donkey Kong was like a main character that made me generally laugh during the movie.
Let's go!
And to finish the video off, we're going to be talking about the story and the end. Okay, so this is the Mario movie's weakest point. This is like this is where the movie I wouldn't say suck. I would say like this is where it like struggles. The story feels incredibly fast paced. I mean, I'm not going to talk about any specific scenes, but there's just some instances where like you would think that, oh, this is gonna like drag on for a minute. This is going to go in a lot of detail, but not like they really like go through it. Like it's really fast. Like seeing stuff is really fast. It feels fast paced, and like the story felt really flat. I'm not gonna lie. The story is definitely its weakest point as a movie, and it's probably the main reason why many critics are talking smack about the movie, talking about its story. But honestly, like if you play, like who plays a Mario game for its story? And if you say no one, then who's gonna go and watch a Mario movie for the story? And you may think this is a movie. It's obviously gonna have a story. Everyone's gonna watch it for the story. What are you on about? It's like I know what you mean in that half, but once again, this is Super Mario. This is the game where the plumber jumps on the Goomba and Turtle. If you're expecting like the next Toy Story amount of story writing, you're obviously like heavily mistaken and wrong. So, but it doesn't mean that like it excuses the movie from not having a good story or a story at all. Because even I would say that what I had against the movie was this, obviously, like how they planned out the story, because it really just fell flat and felt like it went very fast, which isn't something you would want from a movie. You would really want to get the people engaged for a scene and then move on to the next one and like have it all like hyped up, you know? So yeah. And then it comes to the ending. Yes, I wanted to talk about the ending because not many people were really talking about it. And obviously it's like how the movie wraps up. Like how does it end? And not going to say it, of course, but I would like, it's really predictable. Like really predictable. I mean, I don't if you're like predicting it at home, or if you predict, I think this is gonna happen, and then it actually happens in the movie, I wouldn't pure jump up and down and pure boogie down, because it really was like there's no other way the movie could have really ended. There was scenes like near the end that really surprised me, but how it ended was when I just sat back down in my chair. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But it was pretty hype. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. We knew it was gonna be like that. It's okay, but yeah, the ending was really good. And that's all what I had to say about the Mario movie. There's gonna be another video I talk about critics reviews, all these reviews, because we all know gaming movies always get these big bombs of hate, or like critics like hating on it. And like Sonic, for example, like the first movie and then the second movie, it gets some undeserved hate, and some fans of Sonic may even admit that they didn't like the movie, which is obviously completely fine, and people have their opinions, obviously fine as well. But there's a difference between having an opinion and just stating the upright misinformation, just upright wrong stuff for a review. And unlike the Sonic and like Detective Pikachu, I think this movie is really suffering from these reviews. Because the Sonic and Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, sure, they got a lot of hate, critics wise, but they're at a point now where the reviews are good enough for someone to say, okay, let's watch this movie. But like as soon as this Mario movie came out, people were really going in on it, and it's like, why? And if you want, like, personally, this is like all Rotten Tomatoes. If you want a legitimate like statistics, if you want an honest review, if you want people's legitimate opinions, I suggest you like watch other review videos, because like that's like the fans talking. That's like the Mario fans, because these critics, like reading these critics reviews, like really show that they don't know anything about the games, and like that's like a heavy point. That's like something like you really need to know before watching the movie. Because I wouldn't be surprised if someone just stood up in the middle of the cinema and said, why did the mushroom make Mario grow? You know what I mean? It's just like because that's in the game. Like, you need to know the game before you know the movie, that you watch the movie. But you don't need to know much about the games to understand the movie. I mean, sure, you could question about the mushroom, or you could be a casual watcher and just say, "Oh, neat," because after all, we're talking about a plumber going down pipes, seeing princesses and talking mushrooms, and he eats stars and, well, doesn't eat stars. He uses stars. He eats mushrooms to get all these abilities, and these critics are just going so hard like against these ideas because they really need to know how and why this happens. But this has been like this for decades now. So yeah, that's my honest thoughts on the Mario movie. I feel like I missed out a couple of things, but like I said, I really just wanted to talk like my honest like opinions just without a script. And this is my first time doing something like this, and I'm really happy to do a Mario related video on this channel. And damn it, I'm really having a brain fart here. Please, like, just watch other people's review in the movie. I feel like that's how you'll know if it's worth watching, like, yourself, because obviously reviews are for people to see if the movie's worth watching, and these critics are just not it. These are the same people who rated Cuties like over like 80%, and that's like underage girls doing questionable things. And Madagascar, like the first Madagascar, got terrible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Just don't take them seriously. The audience score for the movie is really good though, and I said this like 3 times now. Just people's like Mario fans' reviews are just really what it comes down to, because these are like the professionals. These are people who have known Mario for years now. The people who like have their like, here's their thoughts on what the movie's like and how much they understood and how much it made sense for them, and like their opinions like matter more in my opinion for a Mario movie than critics who barely know Mario at all.
Let's go.
My review, like my full out score for this movie, as much as my heart wants to give it a 10 out of 10, and it really feels like it deserves a 10 out of 10 because I loved it so much, and it's my favourite movie because I barely watch movies. As much as I want to give it a 10 out of 10, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 to be fair and not to have favourites just because it's Mario. Like, I think it really stands out well. For a film, it's an 8 out of 10, of course, because like standing beside other movies as well, like John Wick and other movies that are in the cinema around this time of recording, or movies that are coming out later on in the year. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, and I definitely suggest it for people who like games or have any like passion for Mario. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Thank you all so much for listening. If you got this far, this is a very long video, and I'll see you in my next video.